Coming at you live, covering all things professional wrestling. A show by members of the Busted Open Nation. Welcome to the Nation's Corner. Here are your hosts, the Nation's Corner crew.
That's right, folks. It is 7 p.m. on a Saturday night, and we are live. John in South Jersey here. Welcome to yet another edition of Nation's Corner. And joining me tonight is, of course, my usual cast of unusual characters. First and foremost, you know her, you love her, you click the link. At least I hope you do. She is the great and powerful Debhausen. What's up, Deb?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
And all the way from Monrovia via the LIE, he is everybody's favorite cranky grandpa, the one, the only, thank God, only, Mongrovian Mike, with his personal camera crew following him around.
Will you stop it, you moron? Stop zooming in.
You just can't get good help these days, Mike. You just can't.
Yeah. What's happening, everybody?
Yet again, we sit here like we do every time for the pre-show. What the hell are we going to talk about this week? I mean, is there? Oh, that's right. Saturday night's main event is going on roughly in about the time we're going off the air tonight. How convenient! Yes. It's perfect when we plan it like that. Thank you, WWE, for cooperating with our schedule. But yeah, we're going to talk about Saturday night's main event and the card that we're going to see on NBC and Peacock, bringing back an old favorite in many ways. Maybe a little before your time, Deb, but certainly Elder and I can absolutely, on the rare Saturday night that we didn't have anything to do or we were cutting plans short to come home to watch, was a big deal. Saturday night's main event was a huge deal at the time because not everybody had USA, and while it's considered commonplace now to see wrestling on major TV, this was not the norm. This was equivalent to a pay-per-view.
Yeah, and they're also bringing back some of the classic characters from back then, and. Yeah, there we go.
Keep it classy.
Oh my God!
This fucking Prime, damn Logan Paul, you idiot.
Why?
I don't know. It's all right. It's I need to wake up. Anyway. And I don't want to have coffee. What can I say?
Well,
Saturday night's main event definitely before my time because you guys are old.
We're getting Jesse the body back with they're breaking out the classic shirts to buy like Jimmy the Mountain South Heart and Greg the Hammer and Coco Beware. So that's cool for these dudes. Let them make some money. And thanks, Brooke.
Brooke is right.
You can GFY too, Brooke. I don't care if you're my kid.
So one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight is that obviously this show is heavy on the nostalgia factor. Like everybody that remembers watching Saturday night's main event is loving everything about it. For me, as someone who doesn't have that emotional connection, never saw the show. Like there are certain parts of the nostalgia stuff that I'm into and certain parts of it that I just don't have the emotional connection to it like you guys do. And I think really I was having a hard time getting excited for the show just because I don't have that connection. And I think really the biggest thing that's getting me excited for the show, especially today, is Kevin Owens. Like Kevin Owens is getting me hyped for this show.
Well, the thing with the Saturday night's main event was, John, it was like the closest thing to a pay-per-view that you could have a party around, you know what I'm saying? It was a party. It wasn't like, I gotta stay up for Monday Night Raw. Well, even Raw wasn't even around, but there was none of that. It was, you had Saturday mornings, You had 4 in the afternoon, 6:05. You know, this was hey, 11:30 at night instead of Saturday Night Live. Party up, and we have some wrestling.
Yeah.
So and was it only on like when SNL wasn't on?
Yeah, well, it was it was on NBC, so that was the deal. It would replace Saturday Night Live once in a while.
So on weeks that SNL wasn't on,
and it was
Saturday Night's Main Event would be on.
So it was different. They made it special because it's not like now. Now we got, we have wrestling up our butts for every day. It doesn't matter. Real. But just the classic stuff, it's great. And I'm looking forward to hearing Jesse the Body, which I'm glad I'm not there live because I'm like, I want to see it on TV and and hear Jesse call the thing. One of my favorite lines ever, by the way, is I think they were doing one of the shows from the Cow Palace in San Francisco. And they showed the Rosati sisters there, which were three heavy-set twin sisters that were big wrestling fans, and Bobby Heenan always ribbed on them. But he turns to Gorilla Monsoon. He goes, "Now I know why they call it the Cow Palace, Gino." and of course, Gorilla Monsoon is like, "Oh, will you stop?"
Yes.
So
and I. Just speaking about that, do I think it's cool from a nostalgic factor having Jesse Ventura there? Sure. And it makes, and from a wrestling standpoint, it makes a lot of sense. But that was then, this is now, and forget, all the time in between. You're talking almost 25 years at this point, maybe longer, actually longer. More like 30 years since Jesse Ventura's done anything with wrestling. And he's on the record saying he does not watch. He has no idea. So I'm sure they're going to coach him up to to get him up to speed. But still, do you really want to? And I think it's just more of the factor to tune in for. Do you want to hear Jesse Ventura with a live mic?
Yes, I think there's two people in sports that I love with a live mic. That's him and Mike Tyson.
Well, it's
with Mike Tyson. It has to be a stupid reporter that pisses him off. That's always great. That's always great. But, but Jesse the Body just goes boom. You ask him how's the weather today, and he'll shit on whatever.
Yes, he'll say they're seeing the clouds. They see the clouds and control the weather.
Yeah.
Anyway,
this is why I live off the grid.
Yeah, but I mean, so from a nostalgia factor, being one of these quote unquote of a certain age that remember watching it live and everything, it's overall it's very cool. And
and I just want to point out, okay, we know that WWE heavily relies heavily on that stuff in the past, but it was the way that they did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it was like The Rock or Cena came back and stole the total spotlight from everybody in people's eyes.
Right.
I think they're using the nostalgia in the right way, like they're coming in and they're actually giving the younger talent, the uplift.
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
I would agree with that. I do think that sometimes they still may rely too heavily on the nostalgia.
Yeah.
I do love that we've heard so many legends recently talk about how since the change in leadership, the legends feel more respected. They feel like, they can kind of go, show up whenever they want and they're welcome there. I do love that you're hearing a lot of good things about the change in management.
Yeah.
But I do think sometimes they still do rely a little too heavily on the nostalgia stuff, just to, get big viewership. Of course, it's always going to get big viewership when you have these legends back.
That doesn't hurt. I mean, it like I said, as long as it's not, Goldberg coming in and taking the belt.
Yeah.
And
wow.
doing stuff like that.
We don't need that.
Well, all right, let's get into it and get into the card because despite all the cool nostalgia and that nostalgic feel, this is a hell of a card. This is a pay-per-view, or excuse me, a PLE worthy card that we're getting basically for free on TV tonight. And we'll start in no particular order. Let's start with one that has really caught steam lately, and that's this one. Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre, who is Drew McIntyre is doing his best work, period. And all the time he's been wrestling. And he is absolutely proven that anytime, anywhere, even if you only have one toe, you're going to get Claymore kick, as we saw last night on SmackDown. And Nick all this screaming at him, and him with this, yeah, go fuck yourself, look on your face. I don't care.
I experienced very hot Drew live in the fishbowl.
Oh, yes. Tell us about that.
Yeah. What was that vibe like in the room?
He came out. He won a Busties Award. He won it. He won 2, I think, whatever. But
I can't even remember.
The one because it was like, wow, he won an award, but like he didn't even care.
It was, if I recall correctly, it was the Talker of the Year.
Yeah,
Talker of the Year.
Yeah, supposedly he had hot wings with Sheamus beforehand. And
hot ones.
Hot ones. Yes, he did hot ones.
Yeah.
So he was blaming it on that, but no, he was a hot one. He was a very hot one, and very scary when you see how big he was, because when he had his fit that everybody saw on the YouTube, when he left, he passed right by me. So that angry man was inches away from me, and I was like, I would normally put a fist out for a fist bump at least, but like, nah, he might have ripped my arm off.
Punched you in the face.
Yeah. You might have been the fan of TNA last night.
Yeah.
But
well, yeah.
Other than that was a great event. We could talk about that at the end. Let's go on with the.
Yeah. But again, I'm hoping that this match starts off the card, because these are, besides the story and everything, these are two guys that can absolutely go in the ring. We all know how good both of them individually are. And I am looking forward to this match to be very physical and very brutal.
Yeah. I just wanted to pop this comment up on here real quick from Dirty.
Cheers, Dirty. Right on, brother. Right on. Yes, especially with Vlad.
Yeah.
Well put.
I do think that match could go first and just set the tone for the show.
Oh yeah,
like, get the crowd going right from the start.
Right.
Yep. That's a match where they leave and they go, follow that, boys.
Well, exactly. if they don't open with that, they absolutely can open with this. For the World Heavyweight title, a triple threat, Damian Priest, the champion Gunther, and Finn Balor, who has slowly but surely kind of come back from that second fiddle Judgment Day in a funk type of thing to now we could see Finn 2 belts.
When you listen to Finn, you win.
But I'm glad to see this, because I love the Gunther versus Damian whole thing that they've been doing. They haven't quite committed to yet, and it was one of these things that, okay, Finn is a tag team champ with JD McDonough. Okay, that's great. But Finn's not a tag team guy. Finn is the singles guy.
Right.
First ever Universal Champion. And it's like one of these things to me, and you guys can absolutely agree or disagree or chime in. Finn, we've all been waiting for Finn, or I have been waiting for Finn to kind of step up in that single, be that dominant singles guy again.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this may be the start of it. I don't think it ends here tonight, but I'm glad to see, Finn getting back to where he should be.
The Prince, yes. And we need it. We need it. Yeah, he's definitely upped his stock. He's definitely, he's showing his worth, and it sticks in his craw that he had to relinquish that title the very next day,
right?
Because he injured himself.
Yeah,
and it's part of the business, and it happens. But I mean, that's something that's a long-term story, and he's a dark horse in this too, man. Because I think Gunther and Damian are in each other's heads so much that Finn can just swoop in from behind, a couple of drop kicks, and
Well, he's established himself as that kind of sneaky shit heel sometimes, as how they won, especially the tag team titles, and getting involved in everybody else in Judgment Day and their matches still have. So it's very possible,
let's not discount let's not forget that there's the rest of Judgment Day that could sneak out back there. He's got his best friend there with the 8 miles of forehead. What's his name?
The unusually large cranium.
Yes. He looks like
Thank you, Pat McAfee.
He looks like the midget would be a midget version of To Serve Man, Martian coming out, with the big head.
Oh, stop.
I believe Pat McAfee also referred to him as the real life bobblehead.
Yeah, that's like
Speaking,
my niece's ex is a real life bobblehead. I always wanted to paint them up as Mr. Met.
Oh my God.
Speaking of having
backup, bash a baseball bat over his head, but that's another story for another day, another show. Let's go.
This question was posed to one of the participants in this match about having backup against the Judgment Day, and what I'm referring to is for the women's heavyweight championship, Io Sky versus the champ. Just watch her, my crazy Jersey girl, Liv Morgan, and Io,
another Busty Award winner.
Yes, for Liv, but Io being the consummate professional she is, she's like, I'm in Judgment Day, or I'm in Damage Control, so yeah, I have backup. Dumbass. Thank you for your stupid question. Move along. But I like this match because I think Io is absolutely fantastic. I'm very glad to see her get this kind of push toward this match. Liv is absolutely on fire. Has been since WrestleMania. She is almost absolute when it comes to anything with the women's division in WWE right now. She absolutely is must watch, regardless of what she's doing. From breaking various parts of Rhea Ripley along the way, to everything that she's doing to now becoming the kind of, I guess, de facto leader of the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
All right. I gotta call this comment out. Neil, how are you not rooting for Liv? Neil, don't understand.
It's a Stardom Joshi Pro thing, man. It's a Stardom Joshi Pro thing.
So our friend Neil adores Liv. Neil was there with me and Seth the Monday after WrestleMania when we saw Busted Open Live, and we saw Liv give her promo where she said tomorrow on Raw, the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour starts. Yeah. We were there.
Yes.
And I saw Neil's face as he was looking at Liv.
You throw Neil under the bus.
That Joshi fandom is strong then.
You know what it is? You know what it is? Neil with all the women's division, any women's division, all women's wrestling, he's the Tommy Dreamer. He's the Tommy Dreamer of every woman's division because he just loves them because you know, and it's not.
He
it's
he
not
just wants everybody to have fun.
It is not just the optics. The optics help. The optics are great, but he just loves the great sports that the athletes that they are. I mean, let's face it. I mean, there are people like Saul Ruka and, you know, Io Scott. They're doing stuff that in the, you know, in the past, it really wasn't done, you know. It's,
right.
And while we're on that subject, let's make a point of saying that every friggin' show this past week was a women's main event match.
Yes. Across all brands.
Every single show.
Yeah.
Yes.
So bravo.
Denise had that as her Yeet of the Week this morning.
Yeah. Yes.
Denise's Yeet of the Week this morning on Busted Open. The women main evented every show all week.
But we all noticed it because we all talk every night. I wish, you know, we should record sometimes, but you know, then there would be a lot of bad F-bombs.
Might be in some liability.
There would be a lot of bad cursing and, you know, stuff said. Yeah. But we really do have good conversations, and we notice that.
Yeah.
We notice
have
it
awesome
every
conversations. Night. Yes.
We do. Like sometimes after we're talking and we go, shit, we should have recorded that. That could have been a show. Like we could have just been. We could have been hanging out, smoking and drinking right now and just have a show recorded, watching it.
How many times do we say, oh, shit, I should write that down for the show on Saturday?
And we never do. Yeah. So that shows our commitment.
Speaking of writing down, I remember something else I wanted to write down. It's off the cuff. Darby Allin is getting so much better with his promos and sit-downs. What he said about John... The only one really wrong, whatever. What did he say about Moxley? He goes, Moxley, the lies that you're trying to tell people, the only one that it's really hurting the most or whatever.
You take that off your bed.
Yeah. The lies you tell are the ones you're believing to yourself or whatever. The lies you tell yourself. Yeah. Right. But anyway, he's doing
so good. That.
Dude. Yeah.
Now,
go.
Let's get back to Saturday night's main event. And my pick, I don't care. You can all go fuck yourselves if you disagree with me. The match of the night is, Michin versus Chelsea for the newly minted women's U.S. title.
All right. Did anybody see Chelsea beating Bayley?
No.
And I my only comment to it is that Matt Cardona, who is also Chelsea's husband, put out a tweet earlier saying that he was very proud of her and she absolutely deserves it, and she's showing everyone that she's not just a pretty face and hilarious, which she is, but that she can wrestle. But if she doesn't win, we riot.
Yep.
Chelsea is
we do.
You know what, John? Speaking about Chelsea Green, unfortunately, the injuries to her wrist, you know, the injuries that she sustained knocked her out, and she didn't get a chance. But think about it. If she was healthy, she would have had a character that someone else gave her, you know what I mean? Like, now, this time is her. This right now is her time. I mean, it's like she, you know what she did? She was with Matt. What Matt was doing, she did too. They were all of them, and and so great for them. Power couple.
And finally, on the other side, Mia Yim is getting the spotlight she has richly deserved. This girl has been a solid worker through a lot of awful gimmicks and stop and starts and everything else, and she is very, very good in the ring. And I'm so glad to see that they didn't go normal storyline or normal writing with bigger names being on. You know, here's two names that you normally don't see associated with anything of the title other than a qualifier match where they get squashed anyway and all that. So to see them legitimately going for a title I think it's great, and that's why it's going to be my match of the night, regardless.
And John also pointed out, hat tip Michael Cole and hat tip Triple H for allowing this to be said now. All of the, Julia from Stardom, this one from there. But when he said Michin is a former TNA Knockouts champion,
sure is.
That popped me. That made me very, very happy that you can point these things out now, and you don't treat the WWE universe, because I always said that they're not. People say, does the WWE universe know this person or that person, or the casual fan? Well, you know what? The casual fan is the casual fan. You know what? You flick by, you want to know something, you know where to effing look. Google it, you dumbass. Otherwise, everyone knows. Don't treat us like idiots. We know the shit that goes on. We knew Michin. We knew Mia Yim. We knew in Retribution who it was Mia Yim, not whatever the hell they called her. Come on.
Yeah, but I think that like I said on here before, the bubble that used to be WWE, it's insulated from the outside world, and everything only exists in their bubble. That's absolutely it's pop.
Oh,
and they're absolutely making an effort to make sure that you understand why this person is now in WWE and why is it a big deal. And if I'm not familiar with them, why do I need to know that this guy or this girl is, that people are cheering for? Can you correct
me if I'm not sure. Did Chelsea win clean?
Yep.
Because when I watched it, I got sidetracked, and I didn't. I was just happy that I saw she won. I was just happy.
Yeah, there were shenanigans earlier in the match with Piper. Of course, always, you expected that, but the actual finish and pin came off clean. 1, 2, 3.
And can we also say, I mean, the reactions and Piper, her reactions and their social media and just everything that they do.
Mm-hmm.
Everything they're doing right now is on point and so good. And we can't discount Piper just because she's there, not in the match, because they really complement each other. And
I agree.
So good.
I agree. So, I believe that I said on this show, on our first show after the announcement of the U.S. title, that Chelsea was going to be the one to get it.
Well, you may be right. If not, we're right.
I believe that
we may have all agreed too. We may have all agreed.
I think so. I think we may have all agreed. Yeah.
But at that point, it's you're predicting, but we're all just wishing at that point, because we really don't know, because the line, the setup that they had. I mean, the matches that were set up were all friggin' phenomenal. And I think from the beginning, we were both like rooting for Michin and Chelsea, and that's what we got. And
so here we go.
We saw Michin and we were like, oh, I hope she doesn't, I hope she goes all the way, to the wherever, as far as she can, But awesome job.
And that leads us to the main event of Saturday night's main event.
Please bring the Winged Eagle. Please bring the Winged Eagle. Please bring the Winged Eagle.
Yeah.
I think the Winged Eagle will get a bigger pop than any legend, if Cody pops out, comes out with the Winged Eagle, that will get a bigger pop than that'll get a Stone Cold Steve Austin pop.
I think, I think so. And I also think we may be getting something regarding Stardust. Don't know what, but so Kevin Owens has been heavy on the Stardust references. And if you saw the video that was posted just about an hour ago on WWE social media, Kevin Owens went out, walking through the arena, walking through the concourse, saying hi to fans along the way, and drew a big silver star over Cody's face on the one massive picture on the wall.
Yeah, the poster.
He should like graffiti all of Cody's, like on one of Cody's he should put the mustache, Another one he should put the mask all over the
God. Honestly, though, the way he started off paint, I swear to God, I thought he was gonna like leave the eye off and paint the whole star in with the spray paint. But he just did the outline so you can still see his face. But I was waiting for him to do a whole star a la the Stardust makeup.
Hey, John, speaking of Cody, speaking of KO, don't you look forward to seeing what T-shirt he's going to be wearing? Because he is the king of the retro, man. He's there you go. That's a great one.
Yes,
but KO wears a great ones.
The
all
dusty
the time.
shirts. The gold dust shirt.
Right now he's always wearing classic ones.
I don't even know if there's one.
Yeah,
I don't even know if there's one in existence. But imagine he walks out with a Dashing Cody Rhodes shirt on, or a Legacy shirt.
Yo, dude, how much you want to bet that I guarantee you that somebody has one.
I don't even know. I don't even remember ever seeing one or anything. But that if there was one out there, he would have it.
He should call Tommy Dreamer. I bet you Tommy Dreamer's got one.
Yeah, it's just you can find it.
It's okay, Chad. Not like we do this every Saturday at 7:00. You know.
F Chad.
It's okay.
Love you, Chad.
Anyway, all right. So let's transition and talk about AEW.
Yes.
That gave us 2 very good shows on Wednesday and Friday. This Continental Classic is shaping up to be, I think, better than the initial one last year.
You think?
And well, yeah.
Well, so you have a year to better it, to figure out, to tighten up the screws. Listen, tightening up the screws is what people want, and I'm gonna say, as our Deb is our resident, AEW. You can call whatever you want to call her, Mark or whatever. She's an AEW super fan. She loves wrestling, and that's her jam. And to see, she needed that show Wednesday. We all needed that Dynamite. Yeah. We needed it. Because there's too much. Let's just say we have critiques of AEW and Dynamite and certain shows and certain storylines.
Right.
But we also have friends, and we're fans of a lot of people that work there.
Yeah.
And we want them to prosper and succeed.
Yeah. And so to me, it's very telling to me when we're all watching Dynamite on Wednesday nights, we're all having fun. We're all super entertained. We're all laughing. We're all enjoying the matches, enjoying the promos. Like, we're all having a great time watching the show. And then I feel like sometimes we wake up Thursday mornings and the internet tries to convince us that the show we really enjoyed wasn't all that good.
Yeah.
That's what I get.
And not only that, Deb, sorry, John. I just want to say that we watch it together. So if say I'm not really enjoying something, I'm not going to shit on Deb's good time watching the show. You know what I mean? Because that would be like the IWC right in your ear instead of on your socials. Yeah. So we don't do that. But sometimes we have to stretch and reach for the happiness of a story, or reach for what the hell is going on. But hey, we got what's going on with Mox. We finally got Orange Cassidy seems to have woken up. We have Darby Allin breaking out as is he my cup of tea? No, I like a big monster. So if he gets that championship, I want a big monster breathing down his effing neck for a year before he, let's do it. Let's do it. And
so who do you think that could be?
At one time I thought it was going to be Wardlow, but we got the cigar smoking, the Munster, Hobbs. We got him.
Yeah.
We got Hobbs. We know
they have
leash Hobbs.
Well,
let him destroy people, because you know what? Sooner or later, it's going to be Lashley. So I see Hobbs, going, big monsters. You got Lashley, you got Hobbs, you got Wardlow back there somewhere. What the hell's he doing? Who knows?
And he's been out on injury.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
okay.
But
also Eddie Kingston, but I mean that's a different guy. We
he's
need
been
a scrappy.
Out, he was out on injury.
We need
a
scrappy, AEW banner waving guy. I'd like to see him have it out with Moxley as well. So we have a lot of people in the wings.
I think there's, as the weeks progress with AEW, I think there's things with the storylines that are kind of coming together nicely, but still leaving room for us to want to wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
Like there's been several things where it's kind of surprisingly moving slower than people expected. Like I remember for Full Gear, everybody was like, oh, Toni Storm's coming back at Full Gear. Sky Blue's coming back at Full Gear. No, not Sky Blue, Julia Hart. And there was a bunch of things that people kind of expected to happen at Full Gear, and then they didn't. So that's a sign that they were starting to stretch things out. We finally got the return of Toni Storm after nearly 2 months of teases and social media vignettes.
Okay.
And I think they're moving it along slower than people kind of predicted, which is a good thing.
Let us breathe. Let us remember.
And it's a very good thing. Like it's a sign that they are actually consciously slowing down.
Yeah. Just look at all the stuff, all the things that we're remembering. Of course, it's been simmering in our head. I'm making a sauce upstairs. It wasn't done 2 hours ago. Now it's getting done.
Exactly.
You can't. It's with the old commercial. Is it soup yet? Is it soup? No, it's not. It's not a can. People want a can of soup. No, you got to make it. You want homemade. You want something good. Make it.
So speaking of Toni Storm, we had her return on Dynamite, coming out as classic Nikki Sixx Toni Storm.
Yes.
And which is
by
hilarious
the way,
to me.
TK, yeah. If TK, break out the bills, man. Pay Nikki Sixx whatever he wants for the next pay-per-view at least, man. We want to hear looks that kill.
We want to hear looks that kill.
Red hot.
Yeah. So we had Toni Storm doing social media vignettes. Timeless Toni Storm was retired. She made the big announcement. She's retired. John, you in front row saw her at WrestleCade, where she was yelling to fans that this is the last time you were going to see her. That stuff, which all that kind of stuff is just really cool that they're making an effort to keep the storyline alive. Not that she's just doing a normal meet and greet appearance. She was making a meet and greet appearance part of the storyline that they were telling. And so she comes out, big surprise that she came out as her original Toni Storm character, but it makes sense. Timeless Toni Storm is retired.
Right.
Yes.
And all that means is we may see it again. We may not.
I said she should come back, in Technicolor now, and she did. Yes. She came out in Technicolor. She came back into her 80s.
Yes.
The 80s
and metal. I thought it was an awesome moment. Because if you go back and watch it, like the look on her face, it almost kind of looked like she was genuinely shocked by the reaction she got. She got a huge pop. And it looked like she was genuinely shocked and like taken back by it.
Yeah, hat tip to Thunder Rosa for having the what the fuck sign. And her facials and the what the fuck sign and the gif of that's the gif of the week. Yeah, dirty.
Yes.
The crowd pops all. Yes. And also
it was awesome to watch.
Also too.
Yes.
Also we didn't hear Tony talk yet. We didn't hear Tony talk yet. So we don't know. We're gonna we don't know what we're getting. We're seeing heavy metal 80s rocker Tony Storm.
Yeah.
Right.
But what are we going to get?
Yeah. Well, and that's another thing that's a good sign of how they're telling this story is we want to hear what she has to say. We want to hear kind of her mission statement, or establish her character, establish her intention here going forward. We want to hear that. So I guess we just have to tune into the next show to find out what happens.
And we're also getting Thunder Rosa
into the next show.
Yeah, we're also getting Thunder Rosa in the mix. So with it's heating up, and for everybody that was okay, the shaking the boobs and everything, it was kind of like attitude era-ish, like why, you might as well let's have, what are we gonna have, a bra and panties match next? But then you saw Mariah May and Amina Shirakawa.
It was all part of the story.
In another one of the main events of the week. Women.
It was all part of the story to see the friendship / flirtationship, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
See that friendship kind of crumble and turn into a rivalry.
The hat tip, or was that a figure 4, or was that a sharpshooter outside,
I don't remember.
on the
I'm
ring
bad
post?
With moves.
Yeah, that was great. That was great.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I definitely want to give Thunder Rosa props for the ending. That woman knows how to be memeable.
You are not my champ. The signs were you are not my champ, and Mariah, you may not. Yeah. You may not, then the what the fuck sign.
She knows how to become an instant meme or GIF.
GIFs, instant memes, instant. Her facials were perfect too. She wasn't just holding the sign. She was like with that face, with the WTF, looking at Tony. Perfect.
Yes.
And something she said on Busted Open recently that really struck me, and it struck me also during the Busted Open holiday party. Yes, it thunderstruck me. The Busted Open holiday party, reading the YouTube live chat, and she said, she encountered this when she was at WrestleCade as well. People saying, "Oh, are you still on AEW? Still on AEW?" Obviously, you haven't watched. She literally was the end of Dynamite this week, and people are still going, "Oh, you still work there?"
No.
They're
wrong.
I mean,
it's just their information, but they're wrong.
You know what? When someone says that, it's like GFY. It's
maybe you should tune in and watch the show to find out what happens.
Right. John, it's kind of like the person that sees you. Yo, I'm going to a wrestling show. Oh yeah, I Stone Cold, The Rock. Yeah, I used to,
yeah.
Yeah. All right, it's cool. It's cool, but it's like you don't have to. It's all right. It's all right. That's the casual fans, and you just say whatever. But
But one thing I do want to touch on. It just
struck me as funny.
One thing I do want to touch on that is not directly AEW related, but kind of is since they own it. Final Battle is coming up.
Yes.
I think next weekend, I believe, next Friday. Yeah, from the world famous Hammerstein Ballroom.
Oh yeah,
in that beautiful windy city of New York.
Sin City.
Yeah.
Beantown.
Yeah. All this stuff that we're learning from the Learning Tree, the Nueve, Chris Jericho. And it's one of these things is when they first announced that Jericho was going to be defending the Ring of Honor title at Final Battle. Okay, that's great. I'm literally racking my brain. Who's the opponent? And out walks Matt Cardona.
Always ready when he's not injured.
He is always ready.
The complete Matt Cardona. And what they have done with it, I have no idea, honestly, if this is going to go anywhere after this. But it absolutely has me interested in it because, and say what you want about the Jericho and the Learning Tree and all that, this and everything. It's a work. You're reacting exactly the way he wants you to. You're not supposed to be like, oh, yay, you are supposed to hate it. It is ultimate in douchebaggery of Chris Jericho. and you're all buying it hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
And I just think it's very interesting that here is Matt Cardona, regardless of what Bully may say or everybody else. That man is the king of the indies and has been. Now, do we see Matt going forward with AEW? Do we get the graphic that
RA has it right?
He has a new AEW shirt.
Rosa. You were talking about Thunder saying what she say on the show this week, and Thunder.
God!
Joculate. We're gonna joculate.
Yes,
we're gonna joculate.
Yes, but
yes,
so I think and I'm not going to go on my rant about Ring of Honor. I'm not. But I'm going to say though, this was a very different and interesting way to get excitement about something that even most AEW fans, people who are admittedly AEW fans, don't know much about Ring of Honor. So hopefully this and hopefully they are included, Ring of Honor that is, are included with the new Max TV deal somehow, some way. I'm hoping
in some form or fashion.
Fingers and arms crossed. Yeah.
I hope that ROH gets a deal come the new year that gets them to more viewers than just the hardcore fans that subscribe to the ROH app.
Yeah, the three other people besides me and you, Deb.
Yes. Yeah, and so Dirty's comment in the chat, I even mentioned it to Seth earlier in the day. What if Cardona beats Jericho and Cardona is the new face of ROH going into a brand new TV show on TV?
Mm-hmm. And a lot of time you see these free agents
or streaming.
You see these free agents, like Tony signs these free agents for these big matches like this, and then all of a sudden, right after the match, all of a sudden you see the graphic released. Oh, so and so is AEW.
And I wouldn't be mad at it. So I wouldn't be mad at it. But
hey, listen, that the power couple takes over both sides, both brands.
Well, and like I said, I wouldn't be mad at it. I still think we eventually see Matt Cardona back in the WWE ring.
Yeah, who knows how long he?
At some point.
I know, but I'm just saying that that's happened before. You see a big person, a big name come in for this free agent, big match, and then next thing you know, hey, they're signed. But you never know. Yep. And somebody certainly has a lot of money to throw to them.
Yeah, absolutely. We all know that Tony Khan is not shy about opening his wallet. So
he is not.
And money's more important to him than than actually killing the Zack Ryder character.
Hey, well, it's one of them things.
Well, we know that.
Like we always say, everything counts. Thank you, Sam Roberts.
Yes,
that's right, man.
It's yet another reason for me, anyway, to tune in to see how this plays out and what it is going forward. All right, let's transition over to, besides the big event tonight from WWE, we also had a pay-per-view event from TNA last night. Yeah. Down at the famous center stage in Atlanta, Georgia, TNA presented Final Resolution, which was, as usual, and again, public service announcement, if you are still not watching TNA, you are absolutely fucking wrong, and you need to correct that immediately.
You need a chair shot to the head. That's what you need.
Yeah.
A mafia kick from Uncle Bully. Something.
Something. What the fuck? WTF, people, at this point, honestly, WTF. But another amazing pay-per-view from TNA. And this was one of the cheap ones. This was a $9.99 on Triller TV pay-per-view. Yeah. It wasn't even one of their main ones. And yet
or included with the TNA Plus package.
Yes. Yep. And absolutely it was, just because it was only a $10 pay-per-view, it wasn't a $10 quality pay-per-view. It was absolutely a $40 or $50
Yes.
quality pay-per-view.
Their Friday pay-per-views are always awesome.
The Hardy Boys against the System was worth $10 alone.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah. And that was worth it. To me, the four-way match for the number one contendership: Joe Hendry, Josh Alexander, Mike Santana, and I'm drawing a blank for the fourth guy.
I'm blanking too. Sorry.
Santana, Josh Alexander.
I'm trying to find it.
I'm sorry. Was Macklin in it?
No, he was in the other match.
Okay.
God.
I'm looking. Anybody in the chat?
My brain absolutely
my brain
sucks. My brain is complete
anyway.
shit right now. But the important thing was the winner of the number one contender.
It was Macklin.
Well, it was Macklin. Okay. But the winner,
the old man got
earns a shot at the TNA heavyweight champion, the wanted man, Nick Nemeth, after he defeated AJ Francis last night, is say his name and he appears. Joe Hendry is your number one contender and will be facing Nick Nemeth, which is kind of a foregone conclusion according to some, but we're still going to see the match. And I know everybody likes to bag on AJ Francis and and even Joe Hendry, speaking of him, made a parody song about him. But if you had the chance or had the ability, watch the match between him and Nick Nemeth last night.
Yes.
It was very, very good start to finish.
It really was.
And and that's the whole thing about TNA is they put the matches like this together. Is AJ Francis, the guy to be the face of TNA? No, not with Nick Nemeth there, but there were reports in that match last night. I absolutely believed that. Holy shit, AJ's gonna win this.
Not only that, John, he's great on the mic. Mm-hmm. Everybody judges him by when he was sick, 2-3 years ago, and he did that awful. He was supposed to do the dive or the over the rope.
Yeah.
Come on. You know what I mean? I've seen Brian Cage do that too. But are you going to argue with that man, the man that can do the stuff that he could do, and then all of a sudden you're going to pick on them for a bad flubbed move or whatever? I wouldn't call it a botch. No. You don't call it a botch. That's a slap in the face to these people. So cut the shit.
Yeah.
Friggin' AJ is great, man.
He is great, and he knows how to hold the audience in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
He gets them. Like he can get the audience just hanging on everyone.
And his expressions to the audience, he doesn't even have to say anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then when you had Casey Navarro with him, come on. Yeah.
I'm so glad Casey Navarro
Casey Navarro
is in a prominent role now. Yes.
But more importantly to me, and chime in on this, guys, was something that happened during pay-per-view, but necessarily wasn't a match or anything else. Someone returned to TNA last night.
Yes.
After a long hiatus. And it was one of these times that I had read rumors and stuff and seen rumors on various dirt sheets, but Blind Squirrel finds a nut because
they'll never know.
The dirt sheets were right for once. Tessa Blanchard is back in TNA, which you want to talk about hell freezing over moments.
Think pretty much a shock to everyone.
Yeah, I was mesmerized. That actually happened.
Wow.
And regardless, yes, Tessa looked and performed flawlessly. She always has. Is the baggage of the past? Has there been enough time? Has there been enough that people can kind of forget and forgive? Is there, I mean, I have my own opinions, but I'm at least willing to look at it with an open mind.
So are there, even more, we know that she's worked out things with whoever she's had personal beefs with and words said and whatever altercations with. We've seen her do all that stuff. She doesn't owe me nothing. She doesn't owe anybody, the fans anything. What she owes is the boys in the back. The respect. That was more of a problem to me. Okay, you know what? You say stupid shit out of anger. That's one thing. But to hear the story after story about being a problem in the locker room and having an attitude, you know what? A lot of young people, Randy Orton Jr., didn't he have a kind of a problem like that too, having an attitude?
I mean, there's countless stories of wrestlers, kind of, especially when you're young, especially when you have an ego.
Give her a break. She was very young. She's still only, what is she, 24, 25 right now?
Oh, God, I don't even know.
No, she's a little older than that.
Oh, she's in 35 then?
Yeah.
Okay. So she's grown. That's what I mean. So she's not a kid.
And like I said, it's one of the things like the moment of the night from TNA. Usually we're on here talking about their matches in this one, or this person won, so this is going to set up something going forward. This was something. She comes out, she attacks Jordynne Grace, cuts this very heated promo afterwards, and now I'm like, all right, let's see what happens. So
LFG, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I think I'm also in the kind of let's just see what happens boat here. I mean, if you looked at social media today, people are not happy, but when are people ever happy?
Well, tough shit for them. Tough shit.
Right.
You know what?
So
this is a company that's on the this is a company that's on the rise. It's a company that is connected with WWE now, that at least has a friendly back and forth with WWE. So do you think they're gonna hire someone that's gonna be a freaking shithead?
Yeah, I think at this point things are a little more measured than they were at one time.
Yeah.
And like John said, and you Mongrovian as well said it's more, for me, it's more about the camaraderie with the wrestlers. Like, if as a fan, like, she didn't do anything to me personally. It's not my business. I'm not personally involved. But
exactly.
But where, we'll wait and see what happens with the locker room. If she doesn't get along with other wrestlers, it's probably not going to go very well. If the other wrestlers, forgive her and people move on and things are fine, then I'm sure things will be fine.
We will have to wait and see.
Let's bring it home, babies.
Yeah, we are, because we are about to go live from beautiful Nassau County Mausoleum in Long Island. So we're going to wrap this up. Deb, where can the folks get with you on the social medias?
Right there at That's So Debonair, Twitter machine, Instagram, and the Blue Sky, all the same name, all across the board. And click the link, why don't you?
Do it. You want to click it. Mike, what about you?
I'm right here. You here?
I'm over here now.
At Mongrovian Mike. Ooh, back in.
When you're here.
Your
family. When you're here.
And I, of course,
I just want to say one more thing real fast. A shout out to Dirty and Texas kids, Lucas and Braden. They're the biggest Undisputed Kingdom fans out there. Matt Taven fans and Roderick Strong and
ain't no Melvins.
Mike Bennett, and we love those kids, man. Love you, Dirty.
All right.
Yes.
I am, of course, at Twisted Metal Fab on Instagram and the Twitter machine, and keep up with the exploits of the most dangerous weapon in professional wrestling. Of course, that is the Ass Kicker 9000, and you can follow his exploits at Ass Kicker 9K on the Instagram. We are going to go watch Saturday night's main event, and we hope you do too. And other than that, we will see you all next week.